Hey everyone, this is the Kubeflow community call for the 18th of November 2025. This is the first one after KubeCon NA, so everyone is uh, energized but probably sick, depending on who you chatted with. So I certainly am a bit sick, okay. But the CNC of Code of Conduct is here. Um, I guess anyone, I think Andre maybe wrote this, or someone wrote, maybe the outreach committee, sorry, wrote this. So do you want to speak to this, Valentina?
Yeah, I wrote that one. And please, if anyone wants to talk about their experience, I think you're all welcome. So it was really amazing. Everyone contributed. Not only, we have a fantastic Qflow summit, but also the project pavilion. Like a lot of us were there. We have a lot of discussions, and yeah, so it was really amazing. The maintainer session was kind of was a fun time. We have some issues with the video, and I know it was a bad also included, as attendees, so that was fun. But yeah, I want to thank everyone who contributed, the speakers, the attendees, and all the contributors because we cannot make it. We're gonna make this without you. So right now I'm working on a social media post to thank everyone who was part of this event, but also working on a blog post. And if you want to contribute to this blog post and talk about your experience, please reach out at the outreach Slack channel. The other thing is if you want to talk about your session, you want to write a blog post about your session, you are welcome. Of course, you don't need an invitation. So I do want to say that anyone can write a blog post at Qflow and talk about, your contributions, your project, and use case. But right now, also, we would love to see some of the content on sessions, or maybe you want to talk about what you learned on the during KubeCon and Qflow. So please reach out at the outreach channel on the Slack. And then next, I want to share some numbers that CNCF just shared with us like an hour ago. So I have it there. So the event, the average session attendance was 79. The peak session attendance was 105. So it was around 100. I think it was, I don't have the numbers from the previous year, but I think it was pretty well attended. It was a lot of people there. Then we have our most popular session, which was the opening remarks and the community big enough for everyone. But also we do have the most popular CFP session, which was streaming ML workflows with the Unify SDK. So congrats to the team who, presented this amazing topic. Right now I'm collecting pictures as well. So I do have a few, but if you were there and took some pictures, please feel free to add it into the meeting notes or reach out to the outreach channel. So we want to include all those pictures on the blog and social media posts. The other thing also, we recorded some videos as well. Like Anya did some interviews. I did some interviews as well from the Red Hat team, the OSPO. So talking about Kubeflow, the project and contributions. So they will be sharing all those videos with us so we can also post it on our social media channels. And yeah, that's all I have. I think about it was amazing. And it was amazing seeing everyone in person. So I don't know if anyone else wants to add something else about your experience, anything else.
Anyone can unmute and say anything. Don't all rush at once. Maybe if you want to raise your hand or just say something. Okay, Andre, I know you were there a lot. What was your? I'm just gonna throw Andre under the bus.
Right. So yeah, I think as Valentina is like as said, like I think it was amazing. I think all in all, we do have a momentum. I think the momentum is going on. I think cloud native communities start to kind of realize the value of tools we built over the past 8 years. I think there are still confusion. What is Kubeflow? We try to really explain this to the more and more people and explain actually the value for us to exist in Kubernetes ecosystem. I see many companies and especially individuals get excited for the work we do and for the benefits we add on top of Kubernetes. Um, and again, I think it was a tremendous effort from all of you to support the booth, to support my training track, to speak about the all the releases we've done. I also think that um, we also presented several sessions in the solution showcase. Several demos was there. I think there was success with the Emperor booth, like with basically what we've done with ARM and all the like the work stream Chase was driving for. Is also really super exciting to see that we actually have a working cluster there, and the working Kubeflow manifest installation on top, so folks can run a few examples. Um, yeah, and I think like we should probably, I hope we can reconnect with those users here. The question would be like how to, explain them how they can get in touch with the maintainers, because I feel like there are a lot of questions, and there are a lot of questions still kind of being unanswered from us. So we'd love to find a strategy, to invite those folks here and maybe have some sort of interviews, as we discussed before, but we just never get a chance to actually, speak with end users. So it would be cool to, have them more here attending those regular calls.
I just also want to highlight we got called out in the main keynote as
Yeah,
well.
Mate, I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
I was just saying we got called out in
Oh,
the main keynote as well, which like
yeah,
Niantic
yeah, yeah.
showed us as using in the first like non-sponsored technical keynote. It was all about using Kubeflow to do machine learning, so it was great.
Yeah, yeah, I think I forgot to say that about it. Like, yeah, we have like couple of keynotes highlight the Kubeflow, like the keynote from Fox for Pokemon Go, which is using, I guess, the Kubeflow components for their orchestration. And of course, like, there was an announcement for Kserve, which is technically we consider as part of our, like, broader ecosystem, and Kserve has been accepted as an incubating project. So it's also great for us and to see the momentum on the inference side. Yes. Anything else, Matthew, I was missing from the keynote side, I
Um,
think?
I I think it was just kind of cool to see us on the first big keynote. I mean, we got it in the last for the last KubeCon as well, so it seems like we keep getting to be on the first one, which is always fun.
Yeah.
To be clear, this was Niantic. This is a company that makes Pokemon Go and a few other games. So it was really cool to have them there. And it's funny that I think we should reach out to them and ask them to be a case study for us. You know what I mean? Like that would be cool, right? Because I'd love to. They didn't really talk about the technical details. They more talked about the problem and how they solved it, rather than, did they use pipelines? Did they use case? What did they use? Like that's kind of. Um, I know that some people here did talk to them, so maybe if someone talked to them, maybe we can get some details. But also, I think what you're saying, Andre, is true. Like, especially at the booth, there was a lot of people who either didn't know what Kubeflow was, they kept hearing about it and just literally didn't know what it was, and they were like, "Hey, what's Kubeflow?" And another group of people who still keep thinking of Kubeflow as either notebooks or pipelines. Where they don't know that there's other components of Kubeflow. And yeah, it's just something to think about. Like just yeah.
Yeah, I also kind of like noticed that even during the Kubeflow Summit and other sessions that not many people actually aware of our projects. Like my impression that, usually KubeCons attract so this KubeCon has 9,000 people, which is less than London, but for NA it's pretty good. And I think it's in this, if I remember correctly, 9,000 people, like 40% they're new. And maybe the majority of them also new to Kubernetes, because as we can see right now, more and more people want to run AI on Kubernetes, and they just started their journey, which means they never heard about us, which means like we have an opportunity for them to influence to say how you can run those workloads in a cloud native way. Um, we kind of like, we need to understand this kind of like, we have a lot of, ecosystem has a lot of alternatives. We need to find a way how we position ourselves to make sure, folks come to us and we share them our experience. But yeah.
Cool. Anyone else got anything they want to report? Anyone else have a cool story?
Um, Hello. I just want to echo everything Valentina and RJ said. Really enjoyed the experience, and it was great meeting all of you there. That was my first KubeCon, and I really enjoyed that. We're already working on addressing some of the gaps on the Kubeflow SDK side, since we've talked to some of the people who use Kubeflow SDK. Yep, and looking forward for the next KubeCon in Amsterdam. Thank you.
Ramesh, yeah.
Hey, congratulations for all the folks who's been there at the KubeCon. Thank you very much for all your efforts. I wanted to ask if you guys did any kind of a surveys or anything like, in some of the KubeCons you have done before, um, anything, anything towards what users are looking for uh, in our stack, right? What do they think if it's something is missing, or where we could be putting our attention to in coming years.
I mean, I just want to add one thing, which is that Andre you're very correct with people liking the SDK. Like a lot of people, when I was showing them the SDK, were like, "This is really cool. I like this." You know what I mean? Like this is what I wanted from Kubeflow. Uh, but I think the positioning was maybe a little bit confused because, like, I think that some people were like, "That's really cool," but they didn't understand that it was really complex and valuable what it was doing behind the scenes. You know, like that in the same way that Kubeflow pipelines was that for Argo workflows. It's almost like Kubeflow SDK is a Python SDK for trainer and Katib. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just first of all, like back to your question, Ramesh. I think we do have a survey. I think like Julius created the survey before, and I think it's kind of continuous survey we run, which is I think like we need to come back to him and ask if we have a link to publish. On this KubeCon, like as Mario said about SDK, we ask. So our goal, because this was the first initiative, and so we kind of ask, especially scientists and AI practitioners, to give us feedback on their challenges. We have this survey, and we constantly we even have this on the website. If you go to kubeflow.org, we push this survey to the top. So this is what we ask at the KubeCon. I'm not sure if Chase and others in the booth ask about this continuous survey, but yes, we should actually, after probably we finalize this SDK survey, we should have this survey to ask about general questions, right? Um, for like what do you expect, what do you want, etc. on the broader Kubeflow ecosystem. Um, yeah, to your point, Matthew, like I agree. So I think our goal with this is the case to streamline experience, right? And I mean, it's not only for trainer and Katib. I think eventually we want to, consolidate everything. And we want to consider. So first of all, we already have an open PR for Spark Operator, for example. When folks want to streamline Spark experience and Kubernetes with this Python SDK, which means like they want to have ability to maybe connect to the existing Spark cluster, or maybe just even a simple way to submit the Spark applications using the Python APIs, right? So it's not only for trainer or KDeep. Um, we just started with this and see how it goes. And eventually we also want to consolidate the pipelines, which means like if you take a look at all the efforts we've done for the pipelines components, for us is to also move the components to the SDK and the Kubeflow pipelines client also be part of SDK eventually, similar to model registry discussions, right? Yeah, so the goal is how we can consolidate all of this experience in a unified, simple flow. Yeah, go ahead, Matteo.
Yeah, to this point, first of all, also congratulations indeed for all the results, and thank you for sharing as well. To this specific point is like I remember that the SDK discussion was at the time when this was raised, we asked about integration for other components, and indeed at the time, rightfully so, I would say the focus for the SDK was mainly for this specific current scope with the potential to extension in the future. We have a pull request indeed that sort of like very easily integrates the Python client that we have for model registry instead of the Kubeflow SDK. So I would like at this point to ask indeed is like if that PR can be given some feedback on that topic, because that seems to me like a very easy things to do. So to offer this one without sort of like disrupting any of the existing client. So just putting it there. If this is better discussed in a specific working group, I'm more than happy to join anytime. But I just wanted to say, since the SDK seems like a very good solution going forward, I just wanted to remind it about it. Thank you.
Enka?
Yeah, so
Anya.
thank you for the. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I said the wrong name. I said Anka. I meant Anya.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's what like I'm confused. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for the PR to include model registry client in the unified SDK. We might need to revisit that because we want to provide the consistent APIs to our end users, so that it aligns with the APIs we have in the trainer and optimizer clients already. Thank you. And I will let Andre add more information if he has any.
Yeah, I think eventually you're right, Matteo. We should definitely consolidate your clients. I know you also kind of remaining, we're working on this, finding new name for, Kubeflow Hub or Kubeflow Registry, like whatever we call this component or project. I kind of like think, and point me if I'm wrong, but it would be nice from you guys to maybe first of all do this renaming and rebranding, and then we have a clear scope what this new project will cover, and think about how the user experience will look like, right? So for example, like, should we give them ability to use Kubeflow SDK to publish model to the hub registry, right? Where they can download model and push model to Kserve. Should we have like some more kind of initializer on the trainer side, which allows users to directly pull, for example, model from this hub so they can do fine tuning. So there are a lot of different experience we can think about. So maybe it's nice maybe to talk about this on Wednesday as well, because we do have these ML experience calls. And I know you also have the model registry calls. So yeah, I would love to also hear from you guys. What do you think on this?
If that the working group is the correct place,
Yeah.
okay, sure. Just one point that I'll just bring it here. The rename is the name for the repo overall and the project, but model registries as sort of like a component in there stays, like a model catalog stays. So I don't think that the rename has any effect on sort of like the renaming is mainly to sync on the current status of the project, which provide these patterns. So if we provide model registries, as many instances as you want, the model catalog to surface the blessed model. I think it makes a lot of sense indeed to have the storage initializer for, say, the foundation model that you want to train. I also see Anya's point about having like a consistent API, but at a certain point, sort of like we are offering a client. So unless there is a clear API, indeed, that we can implement and fit in, like an interface that we can implement, I would rather sort of like have a way to indeed start to connect the dots and indeed surface it.
Yeah, yeah, it's actually, yes, surf traffic. I think it's a good point from you. So yeah, I think KFP also wants to go this way first. So for KFP, because it will be kind of a large migration effort, over maybe several years, they kind of like, suggested us maybe creating sort of a wrapper on top, right? So folks can still do PIM install Kubeflow and still, use pipelines client with just a wrapper on top of the KFP client within their KFP package. So we can also consider the same for model registry, right? If that brings any value. But let's follow up on Wednesday, so just don't take time for this
Yeah.
call. Yeah.
Sure thing. So it's the Wednesday call for the model experience working group.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
do
I
I
will share
find it
this on
one?
social media.
I think there was previously a discussion around allowing components to have their own Python packages that are just very low level as well. Like ML, like the SDK was seemingly quite a high level SDK, right? Whereas model registry might just want a Python API that people can use to call the REST APIs. You know what I mean? Is that kind of what like, and then maybe the main one would depend on that one or something to that effect. Or I think there was a debate around that. I'm just not sure what we landed on there. Anyway, this is now becoming an SDK discussion, so maybe we should move on. But yes.
Just to make sure, because I don't see it in the calendar.
The calendar is out of sync, but on the website you can find the machine learning experience, Kubeflow SDK and machine learning experience working group calls. It happens on Wednesday, 3 p.m. UTC time.
But it's not shown in the calendar.
Yeah, no, so the main calendar has problems, which we need to talk about that. We'll talk about getting that fixed at the end and what we're planning to do there. But yeah, like for now, just go to the actual website.
Yeah, I'm at the website and not there.
Oh, okay. We should probably look at that. Okay, let's move on for now. But there is a meeting on Wednesday, if you're right, Andre. Is that correct? At what time?
Yeah, let me ping you my 10 threads.
Thank you.
Yeah, I thought it's not there. We will migrate to the new calendar soon. I
Okay,
think.
cool.
All right.
Okay, KubeCon Europe. I know that Valentina was quickly wanting to talk about that. Like, what's our plan?
So our plan is we are, as we mentioned in other meetings, we are merging Kubeflow Summit with the Cloud Native AI event. I think this will be a fantastic opportunity for us because the hope is that a lot of people that are not yet, aware of Kubeflow or what it is as some of you mentioned today, they will have the opportunity to hear it since it will be one unique event. They don't need to choose between, attending Cloud Native AI or Kubeflow Summit, even though we will have multiple tracks. So I think I am really excited about this opportunity for us as a community to be part of the Cloud Native AI, and we'll be just one big community with AI focus. So right now the program committee needs to review the sessions that has been submitted. And yeah, I think we have the dates there. But right now, if you want to register to attend, we talked about this in previous meetings. So also you could apply for a scholarship as well. So if you're a contributor, please let us know how we can help you. And so far, what we have, that's the information I have. Matthew, do you have any questions?
I'm just wondering, how many do we have people we know we're going to attend?
How many people will
Do we
be
have people
attending?
like from the community who can definitely go and run things? You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say.
The ones I've been asking people, I think only one person say yes, but the other ones were like, I don't know. Like, I don't know yet, for example. I don't know. What about this? Yeah, anyone from this meeting who knows will be attending?
Because I know it can be kind of difficult to get approval. And I think this time, we learned that a lot of companies have changed their policies around if you have to be approved to speak. So maybe we should prioritize making sure that we approve CFPs from a couple of the maintainers, people who need to be there to actually run the event to some extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I am the program committee, but I'm not in the program chair. So, but yeah, I don't know. Anya, I think she said she will be attending KubeCon Europe. I don't know if anyone else knows. Andre, do you know? Yeah. Yeah, go for it, Anya.
No, I just wanted to say I might. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
So
Great.
the CFP for the actual co-located event, that obviously the main one
That is closed.
even for co-located?
Yeah. That's closed. Right now we are reviewing the CSP. Well, we need to
It's
stop
still
here.
open for lightning talks and maintainer track if anyone wants to submit to that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess based off that, how many Kubeflow talks get accepted and various things like that?
So it will be around 30%. That's what the CNCF mentioned. So yeah, which is kind of the same amount of sessions we had before. So
Okay.
because it will be full day, 2 tracks, and right now we are doing half a day. So yeah.
Because
I think it will be great.
Plus Kube. No, wait. What's it called? AI Day or something?
Yeah, is it not there in the meeting notes?
It's called Cloud Native AI Day. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So what's our next steps here, Valentina? What do we need to do so people reviewing the papers, I guess, that's already happening?
Yeah, you should have, if you sign as a program committee, you should have received an email from CNCF saying the dates that you need to do it and guidance on what is that you need to do. If you have any questions, I have done this multiple times, reach out and register. If you know you will be attending, register because of the price changes. Or if you want to apply for a scholarship, as I mentioned, let us know if we can help you. And I think that's it. Yeah, for now, and then we need to wait for the CFP's notification.
The price ends tomorrow. It looks like the cheapest price ends tomorrow. So if you want to attend, the cheapest time to book your ticket is today.
Yeah, and the academic is if you are a student, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
This is for all access, and then for the main one, if you don't want to go.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah, still, yeah, it's great.
And also, as far as I'm aware, this does also affect your sponsor rate, although you have to convince your company to give you the code. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, and then the virtual event, I know Tarek was maybe?
Tarek, are you still here?
Yes.
Yep. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. So I posted the suggested title for the event and the description and topics that will be covered in the outreach Slack channel. So the title will be like the Kubeflow Community Showcase 2026, GenAI and MLOps in action. And the description for it is that, the main contributors there would be sessions from the community members showing like how Kubeflow is powering their generative AI and MLOps, LLMOps across cloud, hybrid, and edge environments. And the topics that would be covered would be GenAI, MLOps, and LLMOps. The working group updates, I want just to keep it there so that we also have submissions from the working groups. And also like the project growth or the community outreach, so that we also can have maybe an update from the steering committee and outreach committee, so that if we didn't get like that much talks, then we also can cover that from the outreach and the working groups. And yes.
A question for that. So like, is that just going to be like a like blocked out a certain amount of time to just do updates from each working group, or is that what's happening? Or?
Yeah, I don't know how the review or the acceptance criteria would be for the sessions. Like, for example, in KubeCon, there is this program committee, and then to be reviewed and so on. But I don't know for the virtual events, how does it work? Like, who reviews the sessions and approve it and so on? Do you know that, Valentina?
I do not remember. I think it's up to us. Andre, I think was part of the previous one, but I do want to clarify, Tarek, we haven't submitted yet, right? So this is not happening. Like, we don't know if this will happen. So it's just to, what we need to do is, like, Tarek's right now reviewing, the proposal for the event. He needs to submit it. Once it gets submitted to CNCF, they will approve it or not. So we'll get a notification on December. So just so this is not yet happening. Yeah. We are still working on the proposal, and then we will hear back on December. So once we hear back and it gets approved, we can start. We can ask more questions about, like, hey, how CFP work. But right now, I think Tarek wanted some feedback on the proposal so he can submit. I don't know, Tarek, is this?
Yeah. Right? Yes. Thank you so much.
No, yes, of course. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. And also, like, the suggest, like, because we Valentina, me, and David had a think about that, and so the suggested time from the event maybe it would be in August, so that because the KubeCon EU, it's end of March, so we can have like a little bit buffer between the two events. So and we would like to hear your feedback about that, and if we agree, then we can do the submission maybe this week, right, Valentina?
Yeah, we need to do it. Yeah, I think as soon as possible, because the due day is on the 24th, even though we have few days. Once we submit, like, that's behind us, so we can move forward and continue working in the next event.
Yeah. So do we need anything? So are you going to be able to submit as someone able to do the submission? Or my only request is that we do include a section which says we'll use end users, and also in the same way that we had a couple of people speaking for the entire project at KubeCon, where we went through every project, we should do the same thing as well. Like, we don't have to have like 20 speakers in a row. We need to just at least guarantee that there will be updates from Kubeflow, because a lot of people actually did come to that. Like, people did actually like it,
Yeah, that's why, like, I think in the topics we have 2 items that would be like from the working groups updates, and then the project growth and community outreach. That's included in the topics or the proposed topics to be covered during the event.
Cool. Thank you for doing this. So, do you need any? So, you need people to? Can you link the thread or something that you need replies on,
Yes.
so we can see?
Also, Tarek, do we need to discuss the dates, or because I remember we have some options on the form. Is it May, June, July, or August? Have we decided when, or is this something we need to discuss?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is also something that we need to discuss. I was thinking about August, so that there is a buffer. But yeah, what do you think?
So I think there's KubeCons everywhere, though, right? Isn't there? Like, when is the one of like Japan and India? So like, I'm not sure. I guess the main ones to avoid are the EU and the NA ones, but yes.
Yes.
But middle of the year, there isn't a lot happening on either of those. So, I mean, it seems reasonable to do July, August, whatever your date you're proposing was. I think we don't get to perfectly choose the date either, right? Because they make set the date for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the options, and then about the specific date that I think CNCF decides.
Okay, cool. I've made a link there, so if people want to comment on it, either way, we'll submit it either way, I assume, and we'll see what the CNCF does. And if not, then I'm sure people will want to talk about their new project updates and things like that. So even if it's a short event, how long is the event we're proposing?
The content is around 150 minutes.
Okay, so quite short. Okay. Cool. Anything else, Tarek? Or anyone else?
I think that's all, right? Yeah. But I mean, the thing that it would be good if we can conclude on this, given that the deadline is 24th. So I was thinking about like if we can conclude it today, that if we all agree on that, so we can proceed with the submission, or maybe we can like give maybe today and then we submit tomorrow if there is no like further like modifications on the content, then we can submit tomorrow. Would that
It
be
sounds
okay?
like you've got a very generic list of content anyway, which just seems like it would be, you know, like it covers almost everything we could want to talk about, right?
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. It sounds okay to me. I'm sure. Let's just, if you have some problems with it, I guess please raise it in that thread. Maybe that's probably the best next steps.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Because it's going to be submitted before the next meeting. So, okay. Cool.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Tarek, for all the work here.
Yeah, thank you, Tarek. I think he has done amazing work on putting all the topics and working on this. So he will be leading this event if it gets approved. So thank you so much for working on this.
Okay, we need to probably blast through some of these other ones, but I know that Amber isn't here, it looks like, and Francisco looks like he's also not here. I think the elections haven't technically opened yet, but I think oh, maybe they have? I don't remember. Let me check.
I voted. At least I voted, so they should be open.
Okay, they are open, it looks like. Okay, we need to make this different. Okay. Started. There we go. Okay, so it's 4 weeks to do voting. It looks like, I think, I'm not sure is what's happening, so does someone else know more than me?
Yeah, it's open. She sent the email yesterday, guys. So it's open to vote.
Possibly a good thing for people who may be new to the process. Just to remind, there is a email that Amber has sent to the Kubeflow Discuss and the usual channels. So that contains the instruction. You will receive an email from the voting systems. So it's important that you check that you receive. And in the case that you didn't receive it per the instructions, just follow up with the election committee so Amber can help you in that case. Is a system, you place your vote in there. So it's very good that if people don't receive the email for whatever reason, they follow up in order to get the opportunity to vote. I think is a great way. And for people, I think also a good reminder is that there are some GitHub issues linked with the sort of like the bio and the endorsement from other community members. So that is also something worth making the attention of the community too.
Cool. Okay. I don't think I've got the voting one yet. Maybe I got spam accidentally. Okay, cool.
And just to add on that, that not everyone is a qualified voter, so you are not everyone is supposed to receive this email. To be a qualified voter, you have to have at least 50 contributions for the last year. Yep.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Anyone else got anything they want to add about this election stuff? Okay. Graduation stuff, Andrew, just very briefly. I know that we talked to a lot of talk members. They seem to be quite happy, but I guess we need to wait for them to get through the voting. I guess we can check where we are on the voting stack.
Yeah, we can move on. I think they're on freeze for 2 weeks, so I don't know if we can make it. So
Well, yeah, not in the next week or so, but I think it's gonna come up the list eventually.
yeah. Well, let's hope for the best.
I think they're all pretty positive, but we'll see. Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty positive, but they still have 8 projects before us, so we need to wait.
Now they don't have KubeCon to be planning for though, so maybe they have more time. Okay, cool. And I know Valentina wanted to talk about a release.
Yeah, so as you may know, the community may know, we paused the release since when we started working on graduation to allow the community to focus on the graduation process. So as the graduation process almost complete, so I was discussing with Julius continue with the release process of Kubeflow. So this is the Kubeflow manifest. So we already have the meeting scheduled for next week in our calendars. At least I do have it same time, so 12 p.m. Eastern time. So the idea is to start having these meetings to talk about the next release. On top of this, I will continue as release manager for the end of the year, but I'm looking for the new release manager for next year, so they can help us within the next releases. So I've been talking with a few of you, but I want to ask the community in general if anyone is interested. So if you're interested in being release manager for next year, or maybe the release cycle is around 4 months. So if you are like, hey, maybe I can start in June, or if you have interest in learning about the role, please reach out. We are looking into do the shadow within the next month something. So I'm looking for the next release manager. Ideally, will be someone who has been part of the release already, in some way can contribute, but also needs to have the availability to be in our weekly meetings, most of them, and also have availability to connect with the teams and understand how the process works. So this is a call for all of you. If you are ready to be the next release manager, please reach out. If you want to start shadowing to be release manager and some time in the future, reach out as well. And please join our release meeting next Monday at 12 Eastern time. I will be also doing an announcement on Kubeflow, the Kubeflow channels.
Okay, I'm just checking. It is on the main calendar, it looks like.
Yes, because we couldn't delete it. So yeah, still there. So good news.
It
I
just
don't
lives
want to
forever.
change it. Yeah.
All of our meetings are forever now. You can't stop.
We are not moving them, or the release meeting is just behind that release meeting. I'm not moving that from the time schedule.
It's forever now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for that. So I guess we're talking
course.
about, I guess we'll just be planning it. Is that kind of the goal?
Yes.
Cool. Hopefully we can figure out what stuff will make it into the next one. Also, I think we need to figure out what actually a release means again. I think we had this discussion a while ago, right? Where it's like for now, it was previously somewhat related to the manifest being cut, but like, who knows, right? It's unclear. Yeah.
I think it's been so long since we don't all sit like and talk. I think it will be very interesting to see, okay, what the projects have been working on during the last months. What are the critical components that we want to ship? What are the minors? What are the security ones that we need to include in terms of upgrades? And I know Julius was looking into this. So I think the first one will be maybe a lot of information, but then after this, it should be more, hopefully focused. But yeah, we discussed, so we updated the release manager handbook some time ago. So please, I added the link on the meeting notes. So as a refreshment, if you are like, okay, what we are doing, or what we're supposed to do in the meetings, and what the release manager role is, so it's all documented there. But the idea is, I think, it's really if you are the liaison of a working group, so please make sure that you do have all the information to talk about what is the latest release, what will be the component, the version that we should be included in the next weeks. Is there is maybe there is not, maybe you're about to release something, like maybe you are like, hey, actually in 10 days we are making this amazing release, so it will be great to include it. So I think Julius also was looking maybe to do 1.12, so that's something we need to discuss as a community. Is there something we want to do? But first we need to talk about, okay, what are the changes, what are the components, what have been like the trainer, right? V2. So I think it will be a great, amazing discussion. So if your liaison cannot provide that information, ensure that the working group lead is on that meeting, because that's kind of the challenges we have sometimes on the past. That we don't have the whole information, it's hard for us to make the decision moving forward or understand what will be part of the release. So just that's my ask. And then if you're thinking, I could be a release manager, but I have some questions, reach out anyway. So please feel free to ask any questions or just have a chat.
I think part of your problem might be that it's 9 a.m. Pacific, which is like in the morning on a Monday. It's like the first day for a lot of people, that's the first meeting of their week, Like,
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been like this forever. Should we change it?
well, I'm
We
just
cannot
wondering, right?
change it. It's
Yeah.
hard to change
I know we
it.
can't change it for the technical reason that we're talking about, but like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I wonder if
Hmm.
I mean, I think we all agreed that like it was fine if there was people from the meeting who went to the other meetings. But then I agree that
Mhm.
sometimes we need to have discussions that are complex. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So is that the time? Is that an issue for you, Matthew, for example?
I definitely would never be able to attend that meeting. No, yeah. So like,
Hmm.
but that's fine. I think we talked about using. Yeah, I mean, I'm just one person, so like, we've got many other working group leads for notebooks, so maybe one of them can attend. So.
Yeah, if you can sync up with them and sure they have, all the information. I also will ask about this and, the rest of the team and see how they feel. Anyone else from this meeting that would like to attend, but they feel like the time is not good for you, doesn't work for you?
Yeah, it seems like it's 1 hour off, like from it's now, if you mean almost now, but yesterday. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's like a
Do we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
another meeting
exactly.
at the hour slot before?
I don't think so.
I mean, once we figured out how to change the meeting times with the new calendar, maybe we should think about moving it to 8 a.m. Pacific. I'm not sure, but
I mean,
that's
yeah,
pretty bad though, actually, because yeah, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. Anyway, okay, cool.
we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, I will ask them during the meeting as well.
Anyone else got anything they want to raise here? Other than I'm a bit confused why a 1.11 branch was cut before we agreed to make a 1.11 release, but okay, sure. Yeah.
Let's
I know
discuss it with Julius. Julius said he might be in PTO, so hopefully he can attend. I think it would be great if he can be part of the meeting.
it might just be that we can pull request things in. That's just
Yeah, I don't. He didn't cut the release, as far as I know.
no, of course not. He just made the branch. Yeah, it just makes it.
Yeah, exactly.
It just makes it a little bit more difficult if we end up having a lot of pull requests into the repo. Because like I think part of the discuss. Okay, the only thing I do want to raise is that we're
Mm-hmm.
refactoring the dashboard and stuff out of the notebooks. Sorry, Kubeflow repo,
Oh,
and
nice.
as part of that, um, there is there's going to be an initial release that's just straight the same as the old one, but using the new repo. maybe probably that's what will happen. And then we were hoping to also move some of the to make it more clear for end users that they don't have to use the reference auth stack to move the auth reference stack into that repo and then sync it back rather than having the, for example, auth2 proxy and Istio configs be viewed as official, if you know what I mean. Like they're part of the dashboard implementation rather than but anyway, that's a separate discussion that Julius and others were talking about. But I just wonder if whether
But do
that
we have DRI who's responsible for this work?
which part?
For offloading the auth and moving this to dashboard?
Yeah, so it's going to be the same people who are currently setting up the first release of the dashboard, which is right now Kimonos and Andy and Julius, I think, and a few others people from Red Hat.
So do we have a timeline from them when they finalize it?
Kimonos has been very helpful, so in no way throwing shade, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him for the past week and a half. I know his availability at work has been a bit hit or miss, but I have a few things. Like we have one outstanding PR and dashboard around like a migration script to help with some of this work that I can't get to work, and I haven't been able to hear back from him on pushing this forward. So it's kind of like very unfortunately kind of predicated on Kimonos' availability. I've dropped a couple notes to him, but haven't heard back yet, so it's difficult to project where that would land right now.
Mhm.
There's someone else who can help Matthew in the meantime.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we should probably. I mean, Julius, I think, is also away, unfortunately. So, like you were saying, so like it's yeah. I mean, I can help forcibly merge pull requests if necessary. I'm familiar with the code base, but like it's obviously the goal is to have it be having its own maintainers long term. But you know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah. So when is the goal? Like, do you have a date for when everything will be moved into the new
So the
repo?
minimum date is whenever the release can actually happen from the dashboard repo. So like even for the current code base, if you know what I mean, because we moved the current code base. But there's a hope maybe that will make the manifests less having new manifests in them, if you know what I mean, moving like so that they're pulled in from other repos like they are for other components, but for the auth stack. But that's not in the initial release plan. Like, but for no.
Okay,
For
so to summarize, let me see if I understood. Should we continue pulling from the old repo? Not yet from the new
No, so
one.
for any release we do, we should pull from the dashboard repo. So we should block any like 1.11 on the release of that, just because the old ones aren't going to get updated anymore, you know.
Okay, got it. Okay.
And it will
But
be a
it's
version 2. So like even though there's no code changes, because it's breaking changes from like a manifest perspective, it'll be listed as version 2 dashboard. You know what I mean?
got it. But is it ready right now? Like, is it working, that version that is on the dashboard?
Andy? Ooh, maybe.
Sorry, I got pinged and missed that. Can you restate that last question?
Yeah, so Matthew was saying that there is this migration, right, from the Kubeflow repo to the dashboard repo, so that we should take that repository for when we want to do any release from Kubeflow manifest. So I'm wondering if that Kubeflow dashboard repository is functional and working, or is it something that is still not, that is missing?
Yeah, so we just haven't like actually exercised the release process. So like all of the workflows and stuff should be there. Stuff's been tested and reviewed. The hope was we would get this migration script as PR number 162 on the Kubeflow dashboard repo, which isn't required, but just to like help users navigate from old world to new world. But like I said, I have issues with what's there right now. But like it should, knock on wood, be there. Now, that's notwithstanding Matthew's comments about wanting to move manifests around. That's not there. So that'd be like new work we'd need to handle. But like in theory, we should be able to release out of there. The hope was we would just like, kind of dry run that process and create like an alpha release to make sure. But I've ran the dashboard components on like a local kind cluster and everything mostly appears to be working. There's issues with TensorFlow on ARM64, so I can't really see that work. But other than that, I feel like it's good. It's, there's only been minor changes and dependency updates to stuff, not core feature changes. So I think it's fairly low risk. We just haven't done the process. Seeing is believing, I guess, is kind of the thing. But I'm not too concerned about it.
So two things. And could you join the release meeting as well on Monday? I think it's important, like, to have that discussion with the manifest team.
Yes, I happily will. But again, I don't have any real rights to the dashboard repo, so I'm happy to sit in and listen, but I can't like merge stuff and make things happen. But more than happy to be there and contribute
But
what I know.
Julius actually can,
Yes.
so he is there. So.
Okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I think if you need maybe to plan for the dashboard release, so we can, have a stable version that we can use for the manifest, I think that will be great. I don't know how much time you will require to do
So it's
that.
easy to do. It's just that it is a breaking change from a manifest perspective. So like,
Yeah,
so then there's the question of, do we want to have two breaking releases in a row, or do we want to do the moving of the auth manifest at the same time, do that breaking change at the same time as the breaking change for dashboard? You know what I mean? Like this is kind of because most people are forking the manifest anyway, so they're gonna. It's more about merging their changes, But like, I just
yeah,
debate for the manifest. Sorry, for the working group release people. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. Okay, yeah, I know we are almost out of time. Yeah, let's discuss it on Monday, but thank you for bringing this topic.
Like it's not a lot of work to do that migration. I think that the debate is around documenting the breaking change and agreeing on what actually should go into the repo rather than actually moving the code. So
Yeah.
And then, sorry, just like in a similar vein, though, we're talking about Kubeflow dashboard, but like notebooks V1, and particularly example notebook servers, is there we would just take what's there, like CVE fixes, we have like a team looking at like a V.111 release process for notebooks V1. That was never like, I mean, that was just kind of a desire or a wish, but is there other things we need to coordinate and be aware of if we're going to start this release branch to make sure we're all kind of converging on the right thing? But yeah, like I just want to call it, it's not just Kubeflow dashboard, but Kubeflow notebooks on the V1 branch, as well as then the example notebook servers, making sure we're all aligned on what that should be if we're going to go down this new release.
yeah, just state it another way. Just make sure that when we're syncing any manifest, and that's kind of why it's a bit annoying that he cut that branch already because it's going to make the commit history on that branch really messy. Is that we need to sync from the notebooks repo and from the dashboard repo rather than from the old Kubeflow repo, which probably will break the structure change. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah, I don't think Julius know about it. Tarek, do you know if Julius, like, I haven't looked at the branch because we just Sunday, but I don't know. He included that, probably not.
No, I don't. Yeah, I haven't also synced with you with Julius about this one.
Okay, let's discuss it on Monday.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I don't know, Tarek, if Julius will be able to make it to the meeting on Monday. Let me know if you can sync up with him and, speak for the manifest team. Or is it anything that I can do to help? Perfect. Thanks. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, thanks everyone. Has everyone got anything urgent? We're pretty much.
Yeah, I did it before and also need to drop soon. So for the survey, because we're going to publish on YouTube, I kind of like want to remind everyone we're still collecting feedback from AI practitioners on your challenges and basically on how we can improve your experience on Kubernetes. So even if you don't use Kubeflow or Kubeflow pipelines or Kubeflow SDK, please fill this survey. And I kind of like want to ask maybe everyone here on the call, if you know some teams, internal teams, like especially teams who managing ML workloads, please also share this with them so we can collect as much feedback as we can for the survey. The main kind of rough idea here is to collect first of all challenges and experience and understand like what should be our focus on. We already know a few kind of roadmap items, but we want to collect more feedback moving forward. Yep.
Cool. Anything else anyone needs to add? We're a couple minutes over. Thanks, everyone. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.